golly, here we are. Yes, dear. Yeah. Did it not? Did I do something wrong?
What?
I'm live, baby. There you go. Where did it go? There we are. Yo, Eric. Hey, Randall. Hey, guys. Brad. Wife's informing me that I put the barbecue sauce on the counter and it leaked. Hey, guys. All right. What a day. All this ruling on behalf of Texas was something. It was really something to read. Let's see if I got it up here. Where? Oh, inbox there. Oh, there we go. What do I got here? No, 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 no. Clearing out a bunch of tabs I've got open so I can actually get the stuff and see stuff. Where did it go? Oh, just there we go. All right, back over here. Hey guys, so pretty good ruling today. Really was impressed with what Justice Reed O'Connor sat there and put up. Really was good. He just took apart the ATF. I mean, I think there's stuff in there that we could use to challenge other things. He definitely went after them on the incoming use. He went after them that they're not dangerous and unusual. All kinds of stuff. Really, really good. So that's all beneficial. And I was, as soon as I heard about it and read it, I called our guys, and we're going to be filing a 28J letter to sit there and let the Court of Appeals know about this one. So it's going to be interesting. Hopefully, we'll get something out of the Seventh Circuit soon, hopefully in our favor, but you never know what those guys are going to do. Hey, Doug, how are you? Yeah, Randall, you're in the free state of Alabama. We will continue to fight behind enemy lines like it's Red Dawn. Well, Brian, we don't know if there's we don't know if there's a dissenting judge holding up what's going on. That's what we heard happen with Atkinson, that Wood's dissent took so long, but who knows? Who knows? Mick, I'm not going to be at Kane on Sunday. I'll be teaching a class. Uh, 79th and Stony Island. Yep, down there in the hood. Good on you. But yeah, a couple other things that the judge got to. Let's see some of my other parts that I enjoyed here. See what else I've got tagged in here. It's 22. Yeah, the video was running long, so I didn't even get to this other part. The court also deems it noteworthy that plaintiffs' presumptive right to possess, use, and modify lawfully bearable braced pistol arms for self-defense, of which enforcement of the final rule restricts, seriously infringement has occupied a fundamental status of the highest order in our legal tradition that both pre-exists and transcends the Constitution itself. And that thing was just packed full of stuff. And therefore, the ruling applies to all FPC members. So if you join today, you're covered. They just, you know, and things like this. Despite the government defendants' contention of mere speculation, the ATF's own administrative record lends additional credence to the sheer volume of affected FPC member firearm owners. In its publication of the final rule, the ATF did not dispute comments from the concerned public, noted that millions of braces are in use and that brace pistols are commonly used by millions of law-abiding Americans for various reasons. Um, yeah, they say there's at least 3 million firearms, up to 7 million by ATF's own admission. This thing is wow. Uh, Far from mere speculation, the court has little trouble finding that there are likely hundreds of thousands of FPC member firearm owners similarly situated to Mock and Lewis. Based on the evaluation of the quote whole record, the ATF's promulgation of the final rule, citizens to preserve, he cites a bunch of stuff. This stuff was just rocking. Nope. So let's see, where else are we? Trying to keep up with comments. Bear Paw just got to make time to get out to the club. Just got to make time. Cordall 777. I'm not sure. Chicago's got some wacky ordinances. I don't know. It's not illegal per state law unless you're engaged in another felony activity. Mauser, there's going to be a mag ban and or a gun ban that gets to the court. I think they will take it. Remember, Thomas dissented in their turning back Friedman, but Friedman could have been turned back because Alito didn't think they had the votes. We're told that Alito wouldn't let anything go forward that didn't have the votes. So, that's what there is. Yeah, Mark, everybody just patiently sitting here waiting on something to happen. We really are. Flatlander, this ruling today by a district court judge in Texas is really, really good about the a lot of the basics that he goes down the road of commonly used. He says that braced pistols are not dangerous, unusual, stuff like that. So there's a ton of good stuff in here for us. I mean, he talks about pistols and that these are used for self-defense and everything that the state has tried to argue. This guy just took apart. Hey, Warsaw, good to see you. Yeah, Bear Paw. We're trying to get some storm drains put in on the new ranges on the west side this week. So see, I'm looking at some of the other guys here, seeing who else. Tim, look, on this whole registration thing, I guess I'm going to have to do a video here quickly, but nobody has to register squat until, it's not an issue until they close it. Then what you've got is per se contraband because it wasn't registered. And the registration doesn't close till 12/31. I see no reason to run out and register. All right, so think about all the people that ran out and registered their braced pistols. The only reason that I would articulate to do so was because you were going to make it an SBR and you wanted to dodge the $200 tax. And I have a friend who went and registered 5 guns because he was going to save $1,000 and the time. Like, okay, that makes sense. Here, there's no real benefit. I think we're going to have a knockdown, drag out fight about this in some regards, but there's no benefit to running in today and filing anything. Why? It's not a requirement until December 31st. And if we beat this between now and then, we're going to ask them to destroy all the records. So why even go down that road? Why give the state police anything? Now they're asking for the date you acquired it. They've already been pushing their luck on the private portals. So we just have to win this fight so we can tackle a few more. Let's see. See. Yeah, the 11th, they've got, Mag's got another hearing. Midwest, yo. So let's see what else we got going on. Checking my. Checking on my Twitter feed. There's some stuff there. Come on. Yep, Twitter's, I don't know, acting kind of weird right now. And somebody just sent me a note about the New York fees, and I'm like, they slashed our fees. They aren't really doing us a favor there. They cut Paul Clement's fees by a ton there. So it's going to be interesting to see if they fight that out or whatever. Midwest, I just what that was worth a fuck, and all the fucking liberals over here hate them. Go figure. Jerry, no, we legalized SBRs if you had a CNR license. Yeah, we'll see what the emergency broadcast alert looks like tomorrow. Mauser, don't know. My wife thinks I might be. I think it would be a really stupid move on behalf of the state police to do so. Um, then they're just playing into a trap. I don't think it's a smart move on their part at all to do anything like that. Layman, possibility, had that thought. Let's see, Mauser. Yeah, the thing I think they're going to try to enforce is you can be speeding down the highway and the statey guy asks you about guns and he sees a gun case in the back, and state police are liable to go the route of CPD where they get days off for bagging a gun guy or something like that. Oh, Warsaw, where's your question? I'm gonna find your 11th or the 12th. Don't know. Yeah, there is self-incrimination. I think that whole voluntary thing is bullshit. So if it's something else that I missed, Warsaw, send me your question again. Tim, there's nothing that says FFLs have to give up their records. And the state police, I think they just start wholesale pulling records. They're going to have a whole Fourth Amendment issue, a very big one. Yeah, Warsaw, so far we've only had 3 sheriffs say they're really going to do anything about enforcing this thing. So that's where we are. And it looks like McCarthy's got problems tonight. Go figure. Check on what, let's see. See what's rolling through the news here real quick. See what the news guys are saying. And nothing. Not much in the news about this at all. Interesting. Let's see. Nah, it's Cook, Lake, and Champaign. Will County, their state's attorney ain't going to do squat with this. Yeah, there's a bunch of state troopers that come out to the range and shoot. They want no part of this. The CCL and FOID are attached to your name, period. And it's all part of the database when they look you up in their driver's matrix. Don't worry about the sheriff down in Will County. I don't think he's going to do squat. State's attorney definitely isn't part of it. I'll never understand these guys who want to race out to register guns. I got guys messaging me about this stuff, and it's nuts. Do not get it. Do not get it at all. Nigel, it depends on if your carry gun needs to be registered. You just got a basic Glock. It doesn't need to be registered. Low quarters, yeah, there's going to be some headway on suppressors. That stuff's being litigated down south. Let's see. Yeah, well, how it's going to play out, it's largely going to be at traffic stops and some other stuff, I would think. We'll see. I mean, they may throw this on as an add-on if they find some really bad dudes, some felons with guns and stuff like this, and pile on, but that is until the courts toss it out. Sabian don't know anything about Rock Island. Just that, you had 99 sheriffs say they weren't going to enforce this. You got a majority of state's attorneys who aren't going to do anything with this either. Yeah, I mean, you don't hear guys in New Jersey getting popped very often. New Jersey had a very low compliance rate. And this judge even talked that only 8% of people complied with the pistol brace amnesty registration period. Question. Well, all right. So Walter, you're confusing things. The guy that would represent ATF is the Department of Justice. They generally, that's the U.S. Attorney. They generally don't enforce state law. They don't have a beef here. So if it's not a violation of federal law, the U.S. Attorney's Office and ATF have little inclination for it. They just don't. I mean, ATF has no interest in the enforcement of this law. When I had my FFL and ATF came by, they had no interest in state regs or anything else. They were only interested in what their stuff is. That was it. I mean, it has teeth insofar as the second time you get popped for not having a registered firearm, it's a felony. That's a long ways off. I mean, you got to get popped the first time, and that's a Class A misdemeanor. Yay. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to go look and see what the Suppressor Association put out about theirs. Where somebody just had something there. Yep. 9465, you're right. The question is, what is state police going to do with this information? Now, let's say that you were in unincorporated Cook and fell under the Cook County gun ban, but you stored it somewhere else. Then Cook County has nothing on you, but we don't know how much sharing of information is going to take place between the state and other law enforcement groups. Flatlander, no. Class A misdemeanor doesn't necessarily negate your CCL. Right now, the injunction applies to all FPC members. So the ATF is barred from enforcement against FPC, the companies that were named in it. Let me go back over here. Let's see and see if I'll scroll down to the injunction side. Let's see. Let's see. The court finds that Maximum Defense and other commercial FPC members face substantial threats of irreparable harm, absent injunctive relief. Namely, they are threatened with permanent and unrecoverable damages, a compliance with unlawfully issued regulation, and substantial financial injuries. So, Maximum Defense. Let's see where else. Let's see. I got to scroll down here. Non-recoverable. Page 30. Final. Commerce. Let's see. Let's see. Going through financial industry. Balance of equities. I'm trying to get here. Scope of injunctive relief. Let's see. They didn't give us a national injunction. Let's see. The court enjoins the government defendants' enforcement of the final rule against individual plaintiffs, William Mock and Christopher Lewis, and each of their respective families, reflecting on the scope of final rule against, the final rule against Maximum Defense Industries, all of its downstream customers, whose interest has represented since day one. The Firearms Policy Coalition. The injunction extends to enjoin enforcement of the final rule against the Firearms Policy Coalition, Inc., and all of its members whose interests it has represented since day one of this litigation. So, if you're an FPC member, you're protected. Let's see. Well, Ron, the Fifth Circuit's different. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, even their en banc panel, is much better. Remember, it was a Court of Appeals in the Fifth Circuit that had Rahimi and turned around, and after they ruled against Rahimi, rethought the decision after New York came out and changed their decision. So the Fifth is a completely different animal. I would not put them in the light of what's going on in the Ninth Circuit. Yeah, Warsaw, the House guys were out here, but they're in a mess right now. Let's see. Ron, it also goes against what I believe is the Fourth Amendment. So, what else we got? Yeah, there's two suppressor cases. There's Morris and there's Anderson. Anderson is the ASA case. Special K, not, as a pistol, yes. Because according to the preemption within the carry law, and FOID Card Act, handguns are regulated by the state. They can't say jack shit about handguns. Haven't had a test case on it, but that's the law. And it helps us because this is a judicial authority recognizing the things that we've said. They recognized our interpretation of common use. They recognized our interpretation of dangerous and unusual. They recognized our right to repair the ancillary rights as enumerated by New York. They do a bunch of things. They recognize that pistols are protected. Let's see. Yeah. let's see. Um, John, that's part of the FOPA, Firearm Owners Protection Act. That part he talks about has only been held against the federal government and the NFA. It has not been expanded. Not that other people aren't trying, but that's where it is so far. Ron, Easterbrook's a wild card. Wood won't. Wood's a left leaning nut job. She won't. Harris, the weak part of the ruling is he talked about self defense, and I get that because under Heller, it's any lawful purpose. But I'll take the win for what it is. He didn't limit it to that, but he used that to zero in on the most protected part. You got to think of the Second Amendment and the way the courts have been looking at it like a target, like a bullseye. The X ring is self defense in the home. Then you got the next ring, and then you got the next ring. And to me, it all ought to be 10 ring stuff because it's any lawful purpose. But that's the way they've been doing it here. So um, there is no per se pistol brace ban prior. Now, PICA bans braced guns, which is the whole semi-auto thing. And again, it's going to sit there, and this ruling causes problems with that pistols are protected arms. So, Rubber Duck, yeah, if you join FPC today, according to the ruling, you're covered. It says all members. It doesn't say members as of X date. It says all members. So if you join FPC, as far as the ATF coming and banging on you about a braced pistol, right now you'd be protected. And today is the 30th anniversary of the Battle for the Black Sea, the Black Hawk Down issue in Mogadishu. Um, Failing, it'd be like any other misdemeanor. It's class A misdemeanor. You get popped. Depends on what the conditions of bail are, as to what they do with your FOID card. But it's the guns you have. If you haven't registered anything else, they don't know what you have. Jason, I haven't read all of Washington's law to know on that one. I spent more time looking at our stuff than I did that. Buckshot Firearms Owners Protection Act, that was passed in 1986 with the controversial Hughes Amendment. It was a piece of legislation to try to protect gun owners going across state lines. It's a federal act. RT, we don't know about what the Supremes are or are not doing. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody tries another run at the shadow docket in one of our cases. Yeah, the conditions of bail, you're held, you're released, but they can still put conditions on your release. Dan, the next hearing with Mag is on the 11th, I believe. Let's see, what do we got up here? So, I'd say it was a nice win today. It's a neat decision. It's 38 pages to get through it. I mean, you get down, let me get over here. So you get into the injunctive stuff. Uh, That's around. Yeah, scope of relief starts at the bottom of page 35. So you got 34 good pages of stuff here. He really does a nice job in this. He gets it. Ron, it's not an unfounded concern. Maryland's oral arguments were December 6th last year. So yeah, everybody's waiting on Bianchi. Nobody knows what's taking the force so long on this. Hopefully we'll get some good news out of them here quick. And they have the Maryland FOID card case pending. Nigel, it depends on what configuration the Glock 17 is in. If it has a threaded barrel, yes. If it doesn't, no. Whether or not the pistol holds 17 rounds is immaterial. It's what magazine you have with the pistol when you're in public. Remember, they ban new mags. You don't have to register your mags. So if you have, say, an AR style pistol, and right now you can transport it back and forth to the range or to your buddy's farm, you can have the mags, just can't have the mags loaded with it. You go from there. So, pistol itself isn't illegal. Now, if it's a Glock 17 with threaded barrel, you're supposed to register it. And after January 1, it's going to be per se contraband on its own if it's not registered. Dan, because once it goes into that database, getting it out is going to be difficult. And we're fighting the registration, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to go down the thought that, oh, look at how many guys registered them. No, that's not going to happen. Ron, that's a possibility, but in the priority of stuff, it's not at the top of the list. Yeah, the cost of the CCL in Illinois is crazy, but uh, Phelan, yes and no. If you had an AR before, you could SBR it if you had a CNR license. Now, the only thing you're going to be able to SBR, I mean, you could form one, a registered pistol of sorts. So if you had, let's just say, an MP5 style pistol and you wanted to SBR it, and the thing is whether or not ATF is going to require proof of registration or if the ATF is going to share their NFA database with the state police. Say, oh, this guy's got, an AR SBR, but he's not registered with the state. Now what? Jason, that depends. It depends on the dealer. Some dealers, I mean, I just found out about a dealer that won't even transfer a bolt action rifle. It's got a chassis with a pistol grip and a threaded barrel. But even though it's exempt because it's a bolt gun, he won't transfer it. It all depends on the dealer and what they're comfortable with. Morrison, yeah, you could. Just don't bring it back to Illinois. Oh, what a day. don't know if you guys saw the video where I got to go fly a helicopter over the weekend. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, 9465. There's a lot of vagueness. I think that's what Mag's going to be arguing with the stuff. There's a ton of vagueness in their stuff. So, I'm going to have to figure out how to do somebody else with this to where I can let them in. I have not played with that yet. Don't know how to do it. Still learning some of this stuff, trying to get more content up there, but I've been busy out at the club. It's just been crazy. Oh, still trying to figure this stuff out. Curtis not with Illinois, only with the ATF on the pistol brace ruling. Techno, I mean, if gun ranges want to report people, I think they're slitting their own throat. I know out at our gun club, um, we're not, it's not our job to do any enforcement. That's our take on it. Not our job. You know, when I've told a couple of people, are they going to park the state police in front of the gates? Be a really stupid move if they did, because that'll be up on the internet instantly. Guarantee it. Yeah, Phelan, go ahead. I understand people leaving the state. Trust me, I get it. I get it. Yeah, no quarters. It puts a little bit of a cramp on. I would suggest, the club. They got classes going on out there this week with Warrior Poet. I'm teaching classes this weekend in our urban tactics. You know, just depends. Uh, if that's shoe, we got to talk. I think I found something to the opposite of that. Uh, well, that's the interesting thing. ISP doesn't have rules about what dealers do when they close out. I can tell you that when I closed out my books, I turned everything over to ATF. They went through my books, make sure there weren't any open entries. That was it. And so ISP has no rules about what you're supposed to do, even though we're supposed to have, if you're doing retail sales, an electronic database of all your inventory and whatever. We closed up. And so there's nothing in the rules for me to report. So I turned my stuff over to ATF. That's it. Yeah, Jerry, you're supposed to have your mags unloaded when you're transporting them, unloaded and closed in a case. Uh, hey, Techno, thank you very much for everybody that's donated towards my grandson's medical costs and everything. Thank you very, very much. The wife, my son, his family, we all appreciate it. It's made a big dent in what they're trying to do. Um, Nate's, they were here last night as Jake was on call for his job, but it's they've my son's noticed. He's very Grateful for the generosity that all you people have shown, and it's helping. Trying to get it knocked down and see where it all goes. No quarters, yeah. I'm part of the what was two gun program, tactical ASC. I teach with those guys, and I'm heading up the urban tactics class this weekend. Have to finish revising our syllabus and getting all the guys out there. And we're doing a 2 day class because last time we taught it in 2 phases, and the month-long gap just really didn't keep guys' heads in the game. So we decided to make this one a 2 day class. So going to be doing that. Some people would call it CQB. We just call it urban tactics. Wilbur, don't know. It depends on what the Court of Appeals does. I think legally, I think he's got a fair shot at it. Depending on how they want to read the Supreme Court, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to share a screen on this thing. Let's see what it's. No, don't have access to this. Pop out dashboard. No, don't care about that. Doesn't. Select string. It says. No, that's not it. Let's see, share. No, not doing that. Not doing that. No. Not doing that. I'd play the video that I put together, but I just can't figure out how to share this stuff. Let's see. No, share. No, no, that's not it. I don't know how to do that. I'm gonna have to figure some more of this video stuff out. Well, dude, here's the thing. To transfer your guns to somebody in another state without going through an FFL is, yeah, a federal crime. You're not allowed to do that per federal law. However, if you just store stuff out there for you, that's a different issue. You're not you're not transferring them. You're not giving up. You're not giving up possession. You're not giving up title or anything like that. That's the difference. TJ, they only have access if they demand a copy of something. They don't have outright access, not reported daily or anything like that. Let's see who else. No. Guys trying to get some guys to help do some of this sewer work tomorrow out at the club. Storm drains. Base. They're not two gun competitions. The two gun program is a gunfighting school. That's what it is. We call it two gun because you're dealing with a rifle and a pistol. Some people thought it was a competition. It's not a competition. And no quarters. Land nav was one. We did one on kind of like patrolling. Got some other stuff. It's a pretty cool program. We'll see how it goes. Base OBS. Have no idea. I'm using whatever's is in the YouTube studio right here. Let's see. Oh, that didn't help. That's all I know. I don't know anything more than that. Manage. That button doesn't come up. I have no idea what this is. Mark, take care. Good evening. Save. What's up? Christian, the state police are saying mags with removable base plates are okay, but that's contrary to the black letter of the law. So part of our comments going into them, we're going to be ginning everybody up to file comments here before long. Yeah, Ron, I think that, the 7th may be trying to delay stuff a little bit and keep us from getting there this term. We'll see. I can't tell you why they take as long as they do to do certain things. Grant, because the list was exempted from FOIA. And of course, the gear clinic's not bad. We started that just because some guys are showing up with all kinds of just cheap ass gear. Saval, not sure. There's nothing in there on what dealers are supposed to do or manufacturers. It's kind of vague on all that. So he may. He may. Tim, now the TROs were canceled by the Supreme Court or the Illinois Supreme Court and the state court cases. They're done. Oh, 94. Thank you very much. We will definitely pass that along. C&T, yeah, that's why we're going to push them to the black letter of the law and then force them to. That's why we're in the comment period, we're going to push them on 870s, 1022s, and a whole bunch of other stuff. They're probably not going to want to answer, but it just gives us more to go to court with. Yeah, angry. I saw that. They don't. It's funny. The rules don't say anything about attachments. They just state police is notorious for just regurgitating the law and not doing anything else. That's it. Save. Depends on how creative the hackers are and where this stuff is. Obviously, if there's an internet portal, it's saving it to somewhere. Nothing is safe from hackers, depending. Nigel, that depends. That all depends. Uh, guys. So it's knocking on 8:30. We've been at it for almost an hour. I thought we'd just have a quick chat and an update to celebrate today and to remember the 30th anniversary of the Battle of the Black Sea. So we'll go for a couple more minutes here and then uh, we'll let you have the rest of the night to yourself. I appreciate you guys stopping by for a little bit. Police should know. Yeah. Asking cops about gun laws. No. My wife knows more about gun laws than the cops do. Yeah. I've had that argument. I've had arguments with state troopers on the side of the road about stuff because they don't know what the law is. They think they do. Or they've been told about something. And it's like, that's not what the law says. How do you know? I wrote it. Yeah, Warsaw. After I kill the live stream, if you want to give me a shout, go ahead, give me a call. I turned the ringer off my cell phone, so it wouldn't interfere when I was doing some other stuff. So I'll make sure I turn the ringer back on so I can hear it. I might have to go pee. You know how us old guys are. Tech note hasn't been called. Any bill by a Republican and some guys filed something today is it's not going anywhere. Freedom, I think they are. I think we had a run of bad rulings across the spectrum for a while, and then Benitez issued his first ruling. I think Benitez has telegraphed what he's going to do in the Miller semi-auto ban. It would be nice to get a win out of Bianchi and get that up here, put it up on the board. These wins out of Texas with FPC have been nice. So, yeah, I try to keep guys. It just sometimes it's tough that when I'm out at the club moving dirt and trying to work on stuff out there, I get home and I'm tired. And once I get, oh, I'm gonna have to, take some Pepsid. Um, Once I get going on a video, stuff kind of clicks. But when I want to edit and copy and paste, words or show you things directly, instead of just reading stuff, that all takes time. That just all takes time. And that's the part that gets really kind of tedious. If it was just me sitting here, I know guys have lots of fancy little banners at the bottom and all kinds of stuff, and haven't quite got there yet, but we try to keep it interesting. Yeah, Freedom, I still have patches. I'm waiting on some designs for a frag out patch and a gun Santa patch. Haven't seen those yet. So, Wilbur, take care. Charlie, no. Charlie, eh, I don't. I couldn't begin to contemplate the number of parts I've got in my place or attachments and stuff like that. So everybody has to do what they think is right. I just don't, I just think you're at. I can't tell you what to do. I know what I'm going to do or what I'm not going to do. So, you know, who's gonna if there's a threaded barrel in your range bag, are they gonna go through your range bag if they pull you over and the Glock 17 doesn't have, just has this typical configuration? I don't know. Yeah, 94. I need a few more. I gotta avoid a few more things. I gotta shed some pounds. COVID has been very, very good to me. If you're an old Saturday night fan, live fan. So we are knocking on the 1 hour mark. I know sometimes it's been when we had more news, it's been more lively and energetic. And I just thought I'd throw this out there tonight. I haven't done a live show in a while. Just try to uh, put this out there and let's see what else we got going on. Yeah, my phone I have messages that keep popping up on my phone. So I never know if it's something else or whatever. But guys, thank you again for the support for the channel. Really, we're trying to work to break that 10,000 mark. Hopefully, people'll be catching on and under that. Evidently, somebody told me somebody started nominating me for the Gundies. So I don't know how that whole process works. I guess you got to have a bunch of nominations to make it up on the board to even be considered. So I don't know how that all goes, but um, somebody's been doing that. So I appreciate whoever thought of that and whatever. But I think today's a personal feel good day because the theory I've been talking about for 9 months, a federal judge just talked about when I got to see Mark Smith from Four Boxes at the GRPC, and I had a couple minutes to talk to them. And I said, hey, the text and history and tradition support us because in 1791, the original Springfield Armory didn't start making muskets until almost 1791. They were focused on cannons back in the early days of the Revolution. They sat there and they didn't start really focusing on muskets till years after in 1791. So if you want to talk about, and that's what this judge gets, the history of gunsmithing and how people came about with their arms, bullshit. And if you take that to its logical progression, it's what I said about the ghost gun stuff. We have the right to acquire, we have the right to acquire parts, we have the right to maintain our guns, we have the right to assemble our own guns, we have the right to manufacture our own guns. And if we go all the way down, if we get all those steps in there, then their ghost gun stuff goes out the window. That they're not, if we win registration, beat them on semi-auto and mag bands, and then you beat them on the ghost gun stuff where we can make our own stuff. The only thing left is the Foyd cart. You knock that all out, and there isn't much left for them to hang their hat on at all. Let's see. So today was a personal good day to where, a federal district judge sat there and verified what I've been saying. So I really like it. Yeah, FW, they play those games. But guys, that's it. We're at the 1 hour mark. I think I've taken enough of your time. I appreciate the questions and everything. So as always, enjoy, stay tuned, frag out. See ya.